Hello and welcome to Thingness, the first episode of 2026.
It is the first episode of 2026. And this podcast is one part of our domestic microgallery. In each of these episodes, we sit down with our current exhibitor and talk about objects, things, and collecting in relation to exhibiting outside of white cube norms. We are Hannah.
And Martin, and today we are joined by Dorna Aslanzadeh.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
know you very well,
Yeah.
but maybe you can tell the podcast listeners who you are and what you do.
I'm an artist and I've also worked with organizations. So I've done a lot of curating, but I do it from an artistic, as an artistic practice. And I do installation works and all kinds of things. So I guess I'm a multidisciplinary.
As I like to say, you have your feet in lots of doors or fingers in lots of pies.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm trying to I'm trying to, make less of that. Yeah.
It's a good place to start though.
Well, yeah, because you have a lot of if you're a maximalist,
Yes.
you have a lot of interests, and you're like, oh, and this, and they all kind of relate.
Yeah, they all feed into one another.
Yeah, but I realize that it's also not. I mean, it's not the easiest way of being in the world, in terms of what it does to your body.
And mind and soul.
Yeah, and also a part of it is I don't like classification, and I want to go against identity. So how to define someone, it stresses me out. So I always
So
try to be.
you don't want to give yourself one term, you wouldn't want to say I am a curator, for instance.
No, or it's instantly recognizable, which is what the art world wants you to be able to instantly recognize a style, and for me it's and it's a way of
labeling things.
and containing you and your work, and so for me it's always resistance against that in a way.
So that's also why you quite like being in lots of different areas then. Yes.
Yeah, but then it gets I guess tiresome and straining. So there's a balance, and I think I'm trying to find a balance, and also work a bit more in my own practice, because it's also I down prioritize my own studio practice in order to be a service.
And that was something that you said today, installing, was that actually you liked being back and doing something that was for your own practice in a way, installing it, a little exhibition here.
Yeah, I've had a small break from my own practice. And art in general for the past year, and so
welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really nice. It's been really nice to just look at things out of the appreciating the aesthetics and the feel of materials, and just things that I enjoy, rather than work through a concept or exploring something, which is because that's what happens in my practice also. It's never a repetition, or it's always a continuation of a work. So it's never entirely familiar, even though some familiar elements are there. I'm still always going further, which makes it always hard, and I'm envious of people who Martin, you go into the studio and you're gonna do a paint.
Exactly what you're gonna do.
And you're and you're going deeper and deeper into that space.
I mean, I might not know what's gonna happen.
No,
but I know
you have
how it will happen. And
you have your own process in a way that you figured out over many years. I very much identify with you. I think it's interesting to think it feels like you're always encroaching on a new territory in a way. It's you're continually finding something new, but you're still on a path. It's not like you've dropped something. You're not picked something new up, but it's just this continual development in a way.
Yeah, and it's always oh, so how do you do this thing?
Yeah.
How do you create this thing? And you have to learn about all these new ways of creating.
But then there is the glorious concept of transferable skills. When you take your knowledge from one field and you apply it to another. I like that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's great, but it's also tiring. And so in this case, I've just looked at what I appreciate and love about the world of art, or just objects and things that you're in relation with.
Well, this is a nice segue, very nice lead-in of those words to our question, which is, how do you relate to objects, things, and collecting?
Yeah. So when you guys first asked, I was like, oh, this is such a great idea. I think it's so beautiful. But then I collect rocks, you know, like as everyone. And then I listened to your first episode and I was like, yeah, of course.
You're a rock person, not a stick person.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I have 2 sticks, but a lot of rocks from like all kinds of, and people give me rocks. So, but then I was like, yeah, everyone is going to show that. And I don't know if I collect anything else. And then I started looking around and I was like, okay, so except for books and then stickers. I love stickers and tape. I love tape. So like one of a few of my works installations have been like just like tape, a column of tape that goes
and this is like coloured tape. This is not what, if we're saying tape and not people would think of a normal plain coloured masking tape or sellotape. This is like you're playing with colour.
Yeah, yes. Lots of different kinds of tapes, but it goes from like the floor to the ceiling, and sometimes the ceiling is like 5 meters away. And the reason that happened was because I had so much tape, and it was like in columns like a totem of tape. And so I was like, okay, so I do collect, and then I realized I've been collecting postcards since I was about 20, so I have like close to 1,000 postcards. And
and like of different, because normally when I think of postcard, I think my original thought is I go to like, it's a place where I've been, it's like a landscape or it's like a city thing. Is it like that, or also like quirky, weird postcards of like anything? Anything,
but mostly like it came about when I was at uni, and I was studying theater, and one of the teachers had a collection of postcards, and she was like, okay, just choose one and write about it. And I was like, oh, you can do that. And then that's the same time I was like, okay, I'm gonna start like collecting them. And most of them, like from mine, are coming from, you know, exhibitions and museums, and you know, there's always a wall of postcards, so you can actually take the artworks home. So like every time,
I mean, that's our French collection. We have 2 postcards now.
We've even spoken about this on the podcast before, but yes, we started
holographic
postcards.
Yeah, they're great.
But actually, now that you say this about collecting postcards, especially from exhibitions, I'm suddenly realizing, oh, I have that collection too. This is not a collection I realized I had.
Yeah,
I collect those postcards like from art exhibitions or things. Things that you see, or even if sometimes when you go to these museums, it's not even a work that you've seen, but maybe an artist that you know, and you see the postcard at the end, and I'm like, oh, I want that for my studio. Or and I have like folders and boxes of letters and postcards that people,
Yeah, exactly. And when they send it to you, it becomes something that you actually keep instead of just, discarding.
It used to be this sort of like thing in Swedish called like vernissagekort.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that you would give out at a vernissage.
It's almost like a postcard shaped poster.
Yeah, you would
like advertising the show. You send it out in the mail, but nowadays it's too expensive to do, I guess.
But wait. So was it the size of a postcard?
Size of
but
postcard.
It looked like a poster.
It would be like.
But a A5 maybe.
Yeah. And then like you would just like send it out to like before Facebook.
An email. Not before email. Email has been.
No, but like you send them out as like sort of PR.
Okay. But like older galleries still have that. So if you go to Gallery Avenue or Uddenberg or those places still make vernissage.
Nice.
Like invites.
That's nice. So postcards.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the shelf?
Yeah. Oh yeah, so I also realized I collect glitter.
Yes.
And tape I've already mentioned, and figurines, and in my practice I've been working for the past few years with reflective materials. So I have a lot of that. And so that's what you see in the shelf is a collection of all the things.
A collection of collections.
Yeah. And so I at first I was like, I'm going to cut up some postcards, but then I felt I couldn't do that. So I chose the two, some postcards that I was, I liked, which were, the size that fit.
Ah, okay. So they were already those sizes.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you got those two?
This one was actually sent to me by a friend, so there's a note on the back of it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and he knows he always sends me like amazing postcards because he knows I love them and I collect them. And that one is from an exhibition of an artist, but I don't remember who it is, and it says on the back, but it wasn't something like, it wasn't one of my, like something I remember, but I did pick it up and I saw it.
It's a boy holding the beak of a duck.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, funny, because from far away, I thought it was a boy holding somebody's hand, and that was like their shirt sleeve with like the button on it.
Oh, yeah.
No, but it's like a man behind the boy, and the eye is in the place of the boy's eye. Yeah. Yeah.
So you do still collect postcards?
Yeah.
Oh, then you're gonna get. I'm gonna think about that now. Whenever I'm like looking at postcards.
Yeah, you're very welcome to.
Would you ever exhibit? Would you ever have an exhibition of just your postcards?
I don't know. I've never thought about it, but I do have them like in a good folder, so you can flick through them.
Wow.
So you can, if you visit my studio,
then you can postcards.
I mean, but postcards are kind of like the same, shape, size, format as photographs. Yeah. So like you could have them in a photo album.
Yeah. But a lot of them are bigger. So then I had to find, like, for a while I was like looking for, like bigger, and they don't make them anymore. Proper like album stuff.
Yeah. No.
So it was a bit of a difficult process to find a way of organizing them the way I liked, but now there are two folders at least.
Glittery or like reflective aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've recently, a few years back, gotten into using like discarded or like broken street signs in my assemblages or collages.
Yeah.
And there is it's almost like, looking at gold or something.
Yeah.
There's this like, you have this like magpie sense of this like desirable object, but it's trash.
Yeah.
But I want it,
Oh, so like also because the magpie, like because it's shiny, you want to pick it up. But what's funny is actually before you got into all the broken road signs, and I will say some of them are not broken, and you maybe just took them.
If they're on the ground, they're discarded.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But before you did that, you did the one where you picked up the glitter. From like on roads.
They were repainting a pedestrian crossing, and that sort of paint
it's like kind of reflective.
It's like reflecting microbeads in it.
Yeah.
So I made a painting just with that dirt from the road.
Wow.
Because they had ground it up, so it was like mixed with like street dirt. Or
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
It's kind. I guess it's kind of like industrial glitter.
Yeah.
Instead.
Yeah, and it's the same. These are from. Road signs, and so it's the same material. Yeah, and that's what I was printing photographs on those materials in my pieces, and then I
screen printing, or could you do like print?
No, like
from inkjet.
No, from like I go to printers, and they generally print on road signs, and I ask them to print. Because they're like 2-dimensional usually.
So it's like how you would actually print a road sign, but then you're just getting your own thing printed on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So they're like, and then I just collected all of the stuff, all of those. But yeah, I mean, it's the same. Like the glitter and those materials are the same.
And it's funny because a lot of, I would say, like the works that you have. They're both very interesting from like a visual perspective because there's lots of shiny things. Yeah. But also I would say from a material aspect, that you've got the glitter, which is like I don't know what I'm gonna like that you want to feel it almost like it's something that the feel of, and then there's like this shiny but smooth, and then like the cat that's like so shiny like
was like iridescent.
Yeah. But then also like the kind of see-through quality. Yeah, it's like It's funny now. I was saying it was like kind of tactile, but I'm like speaking from visual terms actually. Oh, but the most tactile is the turtle that you want to knock the head on.
Yeah,
the little bobbing head.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it is. It's the same with Martin. It's the quality of like things sparkling and having transformative materials or properties. So,
how much do you because for this show we were speaking earlier about the fact that that you enjoyed it was nice just to go and kind of look in a way at everything that you do collect and then reflect and bring the things to the show. But how much do you work like this in exhibitions, like where in a way you've maybe just collected materials or you collected things that you're drawn to, like a magpie, and then is like the way that you've approached this, is this similar to how you would approach other exhibitions?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's partly like made and created, so with the prints, but a lot of the things are also just found materials, like actually on same as Martin, you find them on the street and you like take them to the studio and then incorporate them into, so a lot of like stones and things that I just, or like the drill bits where you they drill into the ground and like extract them, or just like you find a metal bit on the, you incorporate that. So yeah, I think.
So you're basically both magpies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I see black and white.
But my studio is like basically I need to like sort it, and I've been meaning to just like get rid of so much, because there's so much just junk that I find that I can't.
Maybe we should have an exchange.
Yeah.
Like I'll discard some of my stuff and you can go through your discarded stuff.
But the thing is, I need less. That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to become a minimalist, and I'm a maximalist person.
Yeah. Same.
So I think we just need to help each other go through stuff and like actually just put them out.
But wouldn't it be fun to have an exhibition of the things that the two of you both don't want anymore?
Yeah. It's really hard because I would have a hard time, like collecting those things and put them out.
I mean, this is part of the dark side of the collecting. That's the hoarding.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then in a way, it's like, I don't know, the way I think about it is it's like you like all these things and you want to keep them together, but then in a way you think, well, what's going to happen later? Like when I die and then there's all these things, is someone going to keep that collection? Like, are we going to over time just have all of these random collections from all these different people, or do those things then go back into like being dispersed and then they go into other people's collections?
Yeah.
They probably just go into landfill.
Yeah, that would be a shame, wouldn't it?
Oh, but some, like some of it might be inherited by other people, but I'm not so optimistic about, the state of the world.
My studio junk.
No, but like how this like constant apocalyptic feeling that it's we need to collect things because who knows how we're gonna be able to
get like the stockpiling.
Yeah. It's like this. What are they called? Those people who
preppers.
Yeah, the preppers.
Yeah.
Like, but it's from a really useless kind of perspective. Like just prepping.
Prepping shiny things.
Yeah.
But I was thinking then also, maybe it's a question for the two of you then, because you both kind of work like this. Like, how much is... No, I'm going to know, just for Dorna. Okay. How much of what you collect and that you don't want to give away, is it this feeling of this thing of like that it might become useful, or because of like the sentimentality or kind of like attractiveness to it, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when it's in context, I think, with an art practice, where it is like that the collections are really overlapping, and it's not just like, oh, I like collecting this and having it at home.
Yeah.
How do you?
That's a really good question. I don't think this is a great opportunity for me to actually analyze why, because I think it's very intuitive, and you just wanna, as you said, you just wanna be in relation to this thing, and you wanna be able to look at it, and you think at some point I will wanna incorporate it.
So there is this thought of at some point it might become something in an artwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not these things. Like I have not the glitter or the the stickers. So this is completely like from a joyful place, and in my art practice, I mean, there's some joy, and you like the aesthetically pleasing things, but it's also like what are you trying to explore, and what are you, and so you don't like. I envy also those people who are like, oh, I like the look of this, and then you just create a piece that you like the look of. Whereas it's like, well, is this necessary? What is it saying? And things like this. So yeah, I mean, like the glitter and all of these things, I'm not gonna use. So that's not. But the junk in my studio, like which is like ugly nice, you know, like things I find. Then those.
That's this feeling of that it could become something.
Yeah.
So the glitter, this is just stuff that you have at home then.
Yeah.
How much glitter do you have?
A little too much. Even though I haven't been buying any for years because I found out, microplastics.
But like, why do you mean by much? Is it like the amount by volume, or is it like the number of different textures and colors?
Maybe number of different textures, like because in the shelf I'm seeing, you've got different sized bottles. So like there's one bottle that's got a lot and one bottle that's got small. But I think I'm thinking more like
a different ones.
How many different bottles or how many different types do you have?
Like at least 50 of those things.
Oh wow.
In different colors, but I also used to so these I mixed myself, so I became like a glitter expert, and I would mix
because they're almost like they come in little perfume bottles, so like you become this like
and so for parties I would
you like blend your own glitters. Wow, I think you're the first.
It's like a neon witch.
This is another. Okay, you were saying earlier, you don't like labels and things, but imagine if like when you were talking about your artistic practice, you also added in that you were like a glitter blender.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds terrible.
Here's my business card.
I mean, it would sound like these what are the people who go into the desert and they're like,
Oh, the Burning Man thing.
Yeah, the burners. That's what I feel like. That's why I know it can't be a part of the artwork, no. Or like the art practice, because I feel like it's very...
But it is a part of your life, though.
Yeah, but it was way before, I have to like say in a hipster fashion, like way before the burners were around. And then I stopped because I was like, oh no, this is
not cool anymore.
They culturally appropriated you. Yeah.
Well, this is awesome. You have to cut this out, I think, this part.
This is the best bit. This is the best bit about the glitter. I don't know, I think it's just something funny with glitter because it's like, it's something so... There's something kind of annoying about it because it gets stuck to you and it's like you're continually finding it for days and days. Yeah. And I also kind of love that. Yeah. That there's this thing that kind of like, it's like holding on. It's like...
A residue, a trace.
Yeah.
Right? But also, I mean, in a way, probably that happens with lots of other things that we interact with. Like, if you think about all the dust that lies around apartments and stuff, and like random other bits of like, if you're working in the studio, you've got paint, or like maybe when you do food and you get that smell of the garlic still on your fingers, but it's like, it's not as visible, but like you'll find a bit of glitter and it's like, it's this tiny little shiny, like... Yeah.
But you know what, like, because with the glitter, I've realized that I also love the glitter which is natural, and that's where the love for glitter comes.
What's natural glitter?
So
pyrite?
Pyrite?
Like that, fool's gold kind of thing?
Yeah. Exactly. But also what happens when the sun hits the water at a perfect, it just like, and it kind of like fills your soul with something. And, like certain temperatures of snow, you're walking and it's like glittering, or in, like rain. Like there are all sorts of like natural glitters that are kind of like
the stars. The stars.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I've never associated them. I've never thought to call them like glitter before, but it does. They do like glitter, and don't you even say that in Swedish?
Yeah.
What's that like? Glitter.
Yeah.
Like, would you say like
glimma?
Or glimma.
Yeah, but you can say both. Yeah. But glimmer is the same. It's like that's the magical properties of the everyday life.
Yeah.
And it's to do with how light hits a surface that is, shiny, or like there's a it's like its ability to reflect light, which is beautiful. And so the glitter, like these are kind of...
But then also the sign stuff does it in the same way then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's like this latent light, like this latent ability to shine up something. Do you know what I mean? So there's a transformation of one way of being to another way of being, which is interesting.
Yeah, that in a way, like materially, it's the same thing, but in dark or light, it becomes two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in a certain light will bring out something, and another light, like a bright light, will bring something else out. Do you know what I mean? So it's like relational, but it's also to do with like the sun and the light and
that reminds me, when I was a kid, I had one of these T-shirts that like it had a face on it, and the nose. It was for this British. It's called like Comic Relief Day, where people wear red noses like clowns, and the nose on the T-shirt. When you went out in the sun, I think it was some sort of thing in the textiles, like the dye, and it would turn red. Yeah. So then when you went inside, then the nose went like white again, like the T-shirt, and then
yeah, and it's like sticks in your mind.
Yeah. We need more T-shirts like that.
Yeah. We need more things that glitter. Yeah. Except now we can't because it's been appropriated
by the burners.
Yeah.
And the environmental movement with microplastics.
Oh
yeah, that's true. And also
more natural glitters then.
Yeah. Because I hate fireworks.
You do?
Yeah. Speaking of natural glitters, because it's so disruptive, and
as a dog owner,
I've like come to hate them even more. But I've never been a fan. Like, I think that's like a very aggressive way of trying to reproduce something that we already have, like naturally in the world. But it's so disruptive and aggressive and like what is it called? It's super polluting, and lots of animals die each year during those periods.
Do they?
Yeah.
Like from fright, or also from like things hitting them?
Yeah, I think from fright mostly. Like they get disoriented, and the dogs. I mean, for the past 4 years, it's been a really hard time during, like, it's not even like one evening. People start 5 days earlier and they continue like 5 days later.
And this is, you guys are talking about New Year's, because in the UK fireworks are like more common throughout the year. We don't have this like one day, because in Sweden legally you're only allowed to set off your own fireworks in the city on New Year's Eve, right?
And like Valborg.
And Valborg, which is at the end of April.
Yeah, but it's not as aggressive during Valborg.
No.
I haven't.
No, it's more bonfires. Yeah. All right, let's get to the last point. What would you like to add to our bibliography?
Yes, I come somewhat prepared. So I had this book by Claudia Rankine, who is an American poet, writer, and I think she won some major awards for it. I don't remember exactly what, but it's called Citizen, and it was really big, maybe 10 years ago. So it might be from 2015.
And it was a poetry book, right?
Yeah, it's a poetry book, and it's kind of like it's the whole thing is connected. So it's I don't know, is it a suite? It's a poetry suite where you they're all and.
They all follow like the same theme or storyline or something.
And then the theme is like the Black American experience and racism, and like the internalized or like the societal day-to-day like experience of it in relation to also like bigger structural things. So it's really beautiful, and it's just makes you understand the experience. Maybe not understand, but it gives you an insight at least.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Nice.
And then I had a podcast episode. Actually, the whole podcast. Do you know of On Being?
On Being? It rings a bell. Is it also like a book or something? No.
No. It's just a podcast series with this woman called Krista Tippett. So it's called On Being with Krista Tippett. And she's a great interviewer. She is like so knowledgeable, and she brings in really different kinds of people, like biologists and physicists and artists and writers, and she's been going on for ages, but they all have something to do with like an exploration of life from like I don't know how to put it, like somewhat mystical or somewhat relational way of being. And she just does such a great job interviewing them.
Amazing. And there was one episode you wanted to highlight. Yeah,
this, do you know, like, I'm sure you know this, Carlo Rovelli. He's a physicist. He's very, like...
I've had the Order of Time in my backpack for, like, years now.
Yeah.
And I keep reading, like, 70, 80... I never actually finished it.
Yeah.
Because it's so complicated and, like, mind-blowing. It's like, you keep reading it, and you, like, kind of, like... Maybe you don't travel for a bit, and then like you keep forgetting. Like I just start over.
Yeah.
And like you keep reading this chapters over and over and over, and like you don't get.
But you love it though. That's the thing. You keep going.
Yeah.
Actually, we should add that into the bibliography. We'll add that back as well. But it's it's an episode with him then.
Yeah, and he makes it makes the physics. And just like it's so psychedelic his way of approaching.
I think it was like the New York Times. They had like they reviewed some of his books, and the tagline was "Physics has found its poet."
Yeah,
and it's really
it's beautiful. Yeah, so that's the one, and then a whole. I have a third thing, which is the Ologies podcast.
Yes, which I was saying I had been recommended, but I've only listened to a couple.
Yeah,
they're very cool.
Yeah. And she goes into subjects.
Yeah, it's like all the different ologies, so like psychology, biology, but also more specific ones, isn't it? Like that was very broad ones. Though I remember there was one I think I listened to about clouds, but I've forgotten what the term for that ology is. Yeah. Exactly. I don't remember, but exactly. She it's very specific, and sometimes I think she makes up the term because she's like, what could be the term for this thing, and then
that's great.
And creates.
That's quite fun though. Also.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's this, I was listening to it when the fires were happening in LA a while back. And so she had done two different episodes on fires. And she just like published them for during that time while she had to like evacuate her home because she lives in LA. And so it was very interesting to listen in real time about how like why these fires are created, like the ecology and how we've forgotten, or like the indigenous knowledge on how to create fires in order to sustain.
Maybe I listened to that or something similar around that time, because it was saying that we forget that actually these fires that happen in forests are naturally occurring and that they do need to happen. But because of the way that men have come in and I say men, I shouldn't say men, I should say mankind. I still got man in the title. Yeah. Humans. That's still got man in it as well. Yeah. People. Okay.
But it is usually, it is usually men.
Okay.
So we can
say men. It's all men's fault. The way that we have come in and brought trees into certain areas where they shouldn't be, or like even the way that where we build eucalyptus. Exactly, that there's loads of eucalyptus in LA and it shouldn't be there. Yeah. And so the fact that there's not many forests that are even kind of natural forests anymore. No. And so they don't, when it does happen in the fires, they're not then burning and then stopping naturally. They're just continuing. Yeah. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
A little bit like collecting.
What, the fire's collecting the trees?
No, you start. And then you
don't know when to stop.
No, it just keeps going. It's not natural.
That's a great way of.
That's a great way to end, I think. Well, Dorna, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
This was
being
on the podcast. Yes. Thank you for listening. This was Thingness.